Today, satellite imagery and on-the-ground reports confirmed that new rare earth mining sites were being rapidly developed in Shan State, Myanmar. But these weren't Myanmar government projects. They were controlled by a group most people outside Southeast Asia have never heard of, the United Wa State Army, or UWSA. The UWSA is Myanmar's most powerful ethnic armed militia, an estimated 25,000 strong, armed with drones, anti-aircraft missiles, and armored vehicles. They don't answer to the Myanmar junta. They have their own checkpoints, economy, and law. In fact, they operate like a mini-state inside a state. But here's the twist. Their closest international ally is China. The land has always technically belonged to Myanmar, but these rare earth-rich hills weren't being mined until recently. Over the last year, the UWSA took control of newly discovered deposits, especially around Mong Sat and Mong Yang. There was no gunfire. No headlines. But suddenly armed checkpoints appeared, Chinese trucks moved in, and the earth was torn open. These new mines are staffed by Chinese-speaking workers, use Chinese-built equipment, and export minerals straight to Yunnan province across the border. And here's the kicker. These aren't just any minerals, they're heavy rare earths, like dysprosium and terbium, which are critical for electric vehicles, wind turbines, missile guidance systems, smartphones, and now, China gets them all, no questions asked. China dominates over 80% of global rare earth refining, but it's running out of its own easily accessible deposits. That's where Myanmar comes in. For years, China imported rare earths from northern Myanmar, especially Kachin State. But conflict with other militias disrupted those flows, so Beijing quietly pivoted, investing in UWSA territory. No formal invasion. Just contracts, quiet influence, and armed men who don't wear Chinese uniforms, but might as well fly the flag. While the world focuses on tanks in Ukraine or military threats in Taiwan, China is winning without war. It's expanding its reach through militia proxies, economic leverage, and strategic minerals. And it's happening in places that seem too remote, too unstable, too complex for headlines. But what's happening in Myanmar isn't small. Another angle, as we know, the Trump administration may have struck a quiet understanding with China. The U.S. would turn a blind eye to China's influence in Myanmar. In exchange for guaranteed access to rare earth exports from the region, it's supposedly included in the tariff talk agreement, waiting to be signed. If true, that means Trump's tough talk on China came with a backdoor clause labeled, "as long as the minerals keep coming." If you believe the world should pay more attention to quiet takeovers, click like, subscribe, and share this video.